History often allows us to learn the best lessons in hindsight. Yet for this semi-ghost town, those lessons were never taken seriously. We'll show you where this all happened right here on Ghost Towns and More. Near the base of the Inyo Mountains in California are the remains of a once thriving freight terminal town that had a beautiful lakefront view of Owens Lake. First settled in the 1870s, the original town was named Holly, established as a freight port for steamship travel across the lake. The steamship Bessie Brady docked at the wharf at Holly and served the needs of local mining operations that were beginning to grow substantially in the nearby Inyo Mountains. When Julius Keeler arrived in 1879, this visionary could see the immense potential of the humble town site as a receiving hub for ores being shipped from the Cerro Gordo mines east of town. He laid out plans for a permanent town and changed the name from Holly to Keeler. Knowing a railroad was eventually coming to town, he capitalized on his town's location to be the most centralized and convenient terminal for freight and mining. Julius Keeler poured sums of money into refurbishing the Bessie Brady steamship, but not long after it was complete, the ship caught fire, bringing an end to steamship travel on Owens Lake. When the Carson and Colorado Railroad was built into town in 1883, Keeler became the prominent hub Julius hoped it would be for mining. But despite this, the mining industry struggled to remain profitable for the next several years, affecting the local processing mill and the railroad. Just after the year 1900, renewed efforts brought more life to the region. A smelter was built in Keeler to process silver ores. A tram was also constructed that brought ores from the high location of the Cerro Gordo mines down to Keeler. Short-sighted and ill-planned ideas from planners in Los Angeles were looking for ways to gain more culinary water for their burgeoning city. Owens Lake became an unfortunate target. Keeler residents had enjoyed a beautiful lakeside setting since the town was founded, and little could anyone have imagined at the time how it was about to end. Beginning in 1913, the construction of the Los Angeles Aqueduct diverted water from Owens Lake to Los Angeles. Over the next 10 years, the waters receded until the lake bed was dry by 1926, creating an environmental disaster. This irresponsible action on the part of Los Angeles officials completely changed the environment of a lake that was once 12 miles long and 8 miles wide. Residents and businesses tried to adapt by processing soda from the dry lake bed, which did help the town economy somewhat after the mines at Cerro Gordo closed, but it wasn't to last. Lawsuits between the city of Los Angeles, local businesses, and environmental agencies commenced and continue to this day. One source cites that in recent years, the dry lake bed of Owens Lake has become the largest source of dust pollution in the United States. The periodic dust storms from the dry lake bed forced residents out as contaminants of cadmium, nickel, and arsenic wreaked havoc, causing lung diseases and cancer. In 1960, the railroad terminal in Keeler closed, and in 1961 the tracks were taken up. The sounds of steam and freight trains that once frequented the area were no more. Today, the remains of the train depot with surrounding overgrowth attest to busy times that have long since passed. Despite all this, there are a few remaining residents who still call Keeler home. Many buildings are boarded up, while others have been taken down. The cemetery across the highway is truly rustic, with headstones and dates from better days long gone. When traveling through Inyo County on Highway 136, Keeler is easily accessible and very much worth the time to stop and see the old buildings and scenes of a bygone era, many of which are photogenic. Keeler is just west of Death Valley National Park. The region around Keeler serves as stark evidence of what can happen with little foresight in proper land management and protection of the environment, wherein industry takes priority over long-term consequences that can adversely affect generations to come.